welcome to another dose of virtual vitamin Z. This is DZS News for the week of May 2nd, 2022. I'm your co-host, Stephen.
And I'm your co-host, Claire. As always, let's get started with some Detroit Zoological Society updates. Stephen, some exciting news this week. What do we have to start with?
Well, the Gorillas on the Line campaign for 2022 is over, and we are in the process of either packaging and shipping all of the phones that were deposited on site at the Detroit Zoo, or making sure that the teams that participated on their own have whatever they need to be able to ship them to our recycling provider, EcoCell. And we don't have an exact total yet. As soon as we do, we will update you, but that might take some time because they have to be sorted through and processed and things like that. But I will say that there were several wagon loads, several collection bin loads of devices. And so we just wanted to give a big thank you to all of the community teams that participated and led their own drives on our behalf, as well as all of the community members who dropped off phones at the Detroit Zoo. This is going to have a huge impact. Again, one of the main purposes of this campaign is to reduce the consumption of metals and other resources that are mined in animal habitats like gorilla habitats. And also, we will be receiving some money that comes from the recycling process or the refurbishing process, and that'll go directly to gorilla conservation, supporting the Gorilla Safe. So very exciting. Thank you so much, and we will keep you posted as we know more.
Fantastic. It's very exciting to have that opportunity to collect all those from the community. And I was able to participate this time around. My parents have had their cell phone for forever. They literally had it until they stopped carrying like 3G service and they had to get a new phone. So I was able to throw that one into the mix.
And let's say that you just happen to, sometimes accidents happen. Maybe you damaged your phone right after the campaign ended. You don't have to wait another full year to drop the phone off. You can drop it off in our bins, and we will use that in next year's campaign. Also, we have some resources available, as you can see here. Let's say that you have larger electronic devices like televisions, computers, things like that. We don't collect those for the Gorillas on the Line campaign, but we do have a recycling event in November, and we also can direct you to other community resources if you want to get those recycled sooner.
Fantastic. We're very excited to share that throughout the month of April, we were able to see all of Detroit Public Schools Community District's first grade students. They came out and enjoyed us for a day of science and learning here at the Detroit Zoo. The weather was better on some days than it was on the others. And despite the weather, all of our young learners came out and participated and were enthusiastic about visiting the zoo and learning a little bit more about the animals and some of the science concepts that we have. So thank you to all of Detroit Public Schools first graders. Thank you to all the teachers and chaperones that came out along with them to help make that program happen. We love having you, and we cannot wait for next year to see you all again. So we hope you all enjoyed your visits.
Yeah, and I just want to share it was actually several anecdotes, so I guess that means it's data. But it was an experience that I had. I was helping to unload the buses when the school groups arrived. And we talked with them about what they were doing. And one of my favorite things to do was to say, we need the help of scientists to do these scientific investigations. Are there any scientists here? And for all of the kids to raise their hands and say, I'm a scientist, and then be able to just have that identity at such a young age. I'm out in the world, I'm doing science, I'm helping animals. It was really inspiring to me.
It was a tremendous amount of fun to watch all the activities and for them to get off the bus and just the excitement as they got back on the bus, asking what their favorite parts of the day was. It's just absolutely a pleasure to have young kids in great quantities back out at the zoo.
Definitely. Next up, we are going to be celebrating Salamander Saturday on this coming Saturday. So it's going to be very exciting. This will be a virtual celebration, but what you can expect, as with all of our virtual celebrations, is there will be several posts on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, places like that. And these ones will focus, on the one hand, on some awe-inspiring information about salamanders to build our reverence for them. Then there will be some activities that will build different skills. Maybe they are science, tech, engineering, mathematics skills, systems thinking, empathy, things like that. And then finally, putting those two together, there will be an action that everyone can take to help salamanders. And it'll be really exciting to be able to take the reverence and the skills and then apply those. So be sure to tune in on Saturday.
Excited, Salamander Saturday. Moving on to our feature story for the week. And Stephen, I don't know about you, but like throughout the pandemic and when I get like really stressful times in life, I like to go outside and garden, right? And I have a pretty decent sized yard, most of which I have taken over with gardens. But not everybody has all that space, but yet gardening can be incredibly therapeutic to the person who's doing it, as well as having a lot of benefits to the wildlife, especially pollinators, in the area. And you don't have to have a whole huge garden to make a big difference. So in celebration of that, Stephen, what's our challenge for this week?
Our challenge is the Container Garden Challenge. And as we say, it's going to be so much fun, you won't be able to contain yourselves. We want you to create a container garden that is upcycled and then that is as creative as you can make it. So, of course, you could just take a gardening pot, put soil in it, plant seeds, and it would be totally effective. And if that's what you want to do, we encourage it. But there's some other cool examples, like people use old rain boots. People use one of the really cool ones that I've seen is they tied together water bottles, hung them down their window, and even though they didn't have any balcony space, they were out there getting sunshine. They were able to water them through the window. Hopefully, no neighbor was down below, but grow some really incredible herb gardens that way. So, the sky is the limit, literally, because you could even make your container grow up. So, it's just going to be a lot of fun. And what we do ask is that if you want to participate, just go ahead and create a container garden, take a picture of it, and then add it as a comment or send it to education@dzs.org.
And even if you've had like a really creative one in the past and you still have a photo of it, we'd love to see it. Yeah, to your point, Steve, I've seen some really fun ones out there, like growing tomatoes upside down. I don't know who came up with that idea, but it makes a lot of sense. I've seen some pretty cool bathtubs, wheelbarrows, all sorts of fun and exciting things. So I cannot wait to see what everybody comes up with. I'm pretty excited about it. All right, let's check out our virtual education program preview of the week. All right, that's everything for this week. Until next week, stay healthy, Detroit.